guys, it's Monica here. I am so excited to introduce you to Real Estate Fight Club's newest partnership, Cyberbacker. Cyberbacker is the best in the business for virtual assistants. How do I know this? Because I am a Cyberbacker customer and I love this company. I have my favorite, Frances. She is my Cyberbacker, been with me for over a year. She's amazing. She makes me better. She's eager to help. She's on time. She's disciplined. She's awesome. And this company, Cyberbacker, has figured out the system from the interviewing process to find out what I need, to the interviewing process to interview several Cyberbackers, to the onboarding process, to the training process. Very buttoned up, very awesome. You and I both know it's time for you to leverage. It's time for you to take that step, and Cyberbacker is a really safe, awesome solution. Make sure to mention Fight Club and you will be getting a free gift. All right, do it. Make the call. See ya.
What would you do with an average of 3 referrals per week? Well, I know what Becca would do. She would close them. She's on track to close around $30 million in volume in 2022, and a large part of it is due to agent referrals. Rebecca Ellis is a tiny but mighty and runs her business out of Raleigh, North Carolina, and is going to teach us today how to generate agent referrals and use it as a business strategy. Welcome to the show, Becca.
Thank you for having me. I'm pumped to be here.
I'm excited because give us a little bit of background on, so agent referrals is a large part of your strategy. Tell us, basically tell us what that is and give us some background about how you decided to make that a portion of your business.
Right. So we closed 37 agent referrals last year, which was 63% of our business last year.
That's a lot.
Year to date, we're at 67% agent referrals. And kind of what started it is I started going to conventions for, my company and meeting other agents in other markets. And when I would go in between sessions, I was giving out business cards back in the day. And my goal, my rainmaker at the time, we had to give out 100 business cards and get 100 business cards by the time we came back home.
This is just that little nugget. If you're going to go to a convention or something, if you make that your goal, you're already a step ahead.
Right. Well, that's the thing, you learn so much, and it's kind of okay, this was an actionable step that my rainmaker made us do. And then to follow up on that, I came home and I wrote every single one of those agents a little note card and put in my business card again. So they were like, oh yeah, I remember meeting her.
Nice.
At Mega Camp or wherever. Yeah.
Do you write notes? When I used to do that, I used to write notes on the back of the business card so I would remember who they were.
I should have done that, but I didn't at the time.
You just remembered? You're good. Wow.
Well, and sometimes my notes were very generic. It was just, so good to meet you in Austin. Look forward to, connecting over with some referrals in the future. It can be very generic, but, obviously the more specific, the better.
Sure. Okay, good. I love it. So, you are purposeful about this portion of your business. How do you do it? What are your strategies?
Yes. Well, this is a numbers game, right? Real estate is all about how many people know who you are and what you do.
Yes.
And, I am blessed to be in an area that a lot of people are moving to. So I will say that. But
it's also, it's not a lot of people are moving to Raleigh, but it's not like what I think when I think people of relocation. I think of other places first.
Right. Well, and that's one of the things, it is a place that a lot of people are moving to, believe it or not. A lot of people from up in, the northeast part of the state or the country, New York, New Jersey, they're moving down. And people from California even, because our prices are a little more affordable than some other areas. and we have great weather here. A lot of tech coming here. So it's, it's a booming market, believe it or not. So,
but to your point, you could also do it the other way around. So I don't want people to, like, if they're listening to this conversation, be like, well, I don't have a lot of people moving into my city. That's okay. Do you have a lot of people moving out?
exactly. Because take advantage of getting those listings and then referring the business out to another agent. Absolutely. It works both ways.
You could probably use the strategies on either side. Just agent referral as a strategy, period. Even in your town, right? Like maybe you work one part of the city and somebody works the other, or maybe like you mentioned, New York, New Jersey, you're licensed in one but not the other, or something like that. You could use these strategies for that business also.
Absolutely. And, a lot of my business has been even just within North Carolina. So it's people moving across the state. So I have a lot of referral partners in North Carolina that we send business back and forth all the time.
Nice.
So
perfect.
So when people think, of real estate in fill in the blank city, who are they thinking of?
Right.
So, that was one thing. I'm kind of unavoidable on social media. But, I think comes down to numbers and, again, how many people know who you are and what you do. And when I moved here, I didn't really know a lot of people. So, like, to me, it made sense for me to meet agents, because I didn't have a big sphere here. So I was looking for kind of another way for me to get business without me having to go out and cold call and door knock. So this is kind of what I started doing. And so I guess what you would say with my strategy is for number one. So I would say would be getting in front of people in person. So networking essentially with agents. I was very intentional when I went to these conventions to meet other agents in other areas. You can even look up who is moving to and out of your area. So you can be intentional about making those referral connections with agents in those areas. Right. So you could research agents ahead of time even and set up a coffee appointment if you wanted to. I just think getting belly to belly with people, however you can, is always better than just, over the internet.
It's more memorable, right? Than.
Yes. Yeah. And that's the thing, I have over 1,800 agents in my database right now. And, obviously not all of them, but there's a good chunk of them that I have met in person. And I have, had coffee with, I've had meals with, we have maybe stayed at the same Airbnb. We have been in group text or, also another thing you can think about doing is say you want to take a class, go to a class in another market than yours.
It's a good idea. Right. I think too, we've been in on the podcast, we've been in fights with people about, should you friend other agents? Right. And a lot of people were getting the feedback like, no, you shouldn't. It's like, why not? Like, you absolutely should friend other agents like in and out of your town for this exact reason.
Yes, absolutely. I have so many agents that are friends of mine on Facebook and Instagram too. And, that's kind of part of my strategy is for number one, you meet them in person, ideally.
Right.
Then you add them on social media. So it's another whole layer that they are now interacting. You're interacting with each other.
Yep.
And, they're seeing me, we want to stay top of mind, right? Yeah. So they are seeing me on my story every day. They see me show up. They see me, maybe it's at the park walking my dog. Maybe it's with a closing or whatever it is, real, or they're seeing a lot of me. So when people think real estate in Raleigh, I want them to think of me. And a lot of times they do. So
that's awesome. So step one.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I have added a lot of the friends, especially the agents I was meeting in the beginning when I didn't have a whole lot of friends on Facebook and things. I was definitely adding all of them on social media.
And those are all really good tips. I especially like your tip about if you want to take a class, you want to learn something, go outside of your market and learn it. I love it.
Absolutely. Even if it's CE, like this past summer, I was down at the beach and I had to have my CE done by a certain day. So I signed up for a class at the beach, and I was
Nice.
like, may as well kind of, meet some other agents down there. So
I love it. And what are you like? Give us an idea, because sometimes maybe people are nervous about meeting other agents, right? Like, what are you saying? Like, how do you know that? Are you getting any type of qualification about their business or anything like that? Or are you just like meeting them and that's it?
both. I think it comes down to like, are you sending them a referral? Because if so, I definitely think it's very important to find out a little bit more about how they operate.
Yeah.
But in general, I think just building, growing your database just to meet them and add them to your database. But when it comes to my business, and it's a reflection of me, if I send an outbound referral to somebody, obviously I care a lot more about, their personality and how they operate their business, how is their communication. So
Right.
I'm asking them questions. Did they answer their phone? Even things like that. So just, being super intentional, especially if it's a referral I'm sending. I have really high standards when it comes to that.
No, that makes sense. I like that. And that sounds like a whole nother podcast episode. And we'll do that
Yes.
one. Okay.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, so I guess I got off of subject a little bit, but a follow-up system would be my number 3. Kind of.
Did we do 2?
Like the social media.
Oh, social media. Okay, so send like meet them person to person, then send the card and add them to social media. So that's 1 and 2. Okay, gotcha.
Right. So getting belly to belly with them is, the goal, and then adding them on social media to just kind of stay top of mind.
Okay.
And then 3, I would say just having a system around building referrals.
Yes. And what's yours?
Again, right. Adding them. So not only on social media, but adding them to your database in a format that you can actually call them, where they are, their number, what area they work. So that way, if you come across a referral, for one, it's easy to look them up. And then 2, you want to stay in touch with this person, right? So we do like an agent newsletter that we have started implementing and sending every month to our agent part of our database. And, it's got some fun little things. It's got some information about our team. So we might do like a testimonial or our latest listing, but we also include usually Becca's badass recommendations. So that may be, Real Estate Fight Club as a podcast to listen to. It may be a script. It may be, let's see, a book or, anything like that I think is like beneficial for agents. I'll just put a couple of those in each one. And I've gotten some really good feedback with our newsletter. So,
and you're sending it out monthly?
Yes.
I like that idea. And most companies have like a CRM system, or like, are you using MailChimp? Like, what are you using?
Yeah. So we are doing it in MailChimp. So, our virtual assistant is adding them to our CRM, and she's adding them to the MailChimp list. And it's something too, it's kind of cool because now we have this newsletter for agents. So even I can go online and post it on Instagram and say, hey, you want to sign up for our newsletter? So, sometimes I have even people want to be on both the Sphere newsletter and the agent newsletter. Right. So I have some agents that have done that just to see kind of what we're sending out to our people.
That's awesome. And I think like these ideas are really actionable. I mean, you can tell like that is a large portion of your business, and it's scalable and it's reasonably easy. Like it's not hard to be like, I'm an agent, you're an agent, maybe we'll pass some business, and like that's it, right?
Right.
And
it's, yeah. I mean, it is, it's a relationship. And I would much rather send a referral to somebody that I know, like even if it's just through social media, at least, I feel like I know that person,
Exactly.
but obviously in person too is another layer on top of that. So, if I have a referral for a certain city, I'm going to send it to the person who I feel is best going to be a representation, for them and their personality. So,
no, that's awesome. Did you have any final thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I would say just don't be scared to go after referrals. I think in the beginning, I had a lot of self-doubt and I saw all these other agents getting tagged in these referral posts and for a long time I didn't go after it. And I started to go after the referrals, and I have been able to build a big part of my business with agent referrals. So it's somebody's going to get the business. It may as well be you.
Well, and honestly too, to your point, like if you're a great agent and you know that you can help that you help your clients, you know that you get the results for your clients, why wouldn't you?
Right. Exactly. And the thing is too, a lot of people I feel like send me referrals because they know they're going to get a paycheck at the back end of this, right?
Exactly.
Because I'm going to do my best to, get this person under contract and get them results that's going to also affect that agent.
Exactly.
And my job is to make that agent look good.
Right. Right. Exactly. That's awesome. Well, I really appreciate you sharing those strategies. I think you made this actionable and simple, like it doesn't have to be complicated. And I like that about your strategies. So if people do have a referral for you in Raleigh, or they want to get and see how you're doing your newsletters, and they want to be on that list, what is the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, reach out either on Instagram at Real Estate Rebecca, or you can send me an email at rebecca@livingnc.com, and we'll get you added to our newsletter, and hopefully this was helpful.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Becca.
Thank you.
What we need right now is a source for great leads, and I found it. It is called Pipeline Pro Tools. So about 90 days ago, I booked a demo with them. And in that demo, we reverse engineered my business. We figured out how many leads we needed to get in order to get to the closings that we want. And they gave me a playbook to use in order to get that. So I've been using it for 90 days. We've gotten 12 qualified leads, and about half of them are already under contract or closed, which is great. And it is right now my number one source for my best leads that I'm getting. I love this thing. I'm about to ramp up the number of leads that I get with them as well. So, and you might think it's expensive, and it's not. So I was looking for something that's very inexpensive, like affordable to everyone, but also generated great leads. We don't want crap leads. So what you do in order to get this, because I called them and I wanted to partner with them because I was like, this is exactly what our audience has been looking for. So they set up something specific just for us, just for Fight Club listeners. So you would go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club. And then you go to the demo, and the demo will show you how many leads you need in order to get the number of closings that you want to get. And then they will give you the playbook that I'm using, my number one playbook for getting leads. And then you can use it too, and we can have happy closings. So go to pipelineprotools.com/Fight Club, book and go to the demo and get all the leads.
Don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss a podcast.